Cute, cuddly and full of curiosity, babies are amazing to say the least. A baby can brighten a room with its smile, melt a heart with its laugh and provide a whole new perspective on life. But we already know this about our little ones. What you may not know is that babies are not only filled with sweetness, but also the subject of a plethora of astonishing facts that prove babies really are the most remarkable little things on the planet. Get ready to be astounded by these 12 fascinating facts about the first year of your child's existence. 12 incredibly cool facts about babies every parent should know. Learning to talk begins in the womb. Your baby could hear your voice and other sounds from about 23 weeks of pregnancy. So although she won't say her first word until she's about a year old, she's learning about language right from the start. Your voice is your baby's favorite sound, and she'll love to hear you talk and sing to her. It's never too early to start reading to your baby, and the more words she hears now, the better her language skills are likely to be later on. Babies are born with the ability to swim. Newborns naturally hold their breath when underwater, and even splash about with their arms and legs. If you take your baby to a swimming class, you'll see these innate talents in action. Your baby can go swimming as soon as you like, but if you're planning on taking her yourself, wait until after your 6-week check. It's important to make sure you're healing well before going in the pool. Birthmarks are surprisingly common. About a third of babies are born with a birthmark of some kind. The most common type is a stork mark, also known as a salmon patch or angel kiss. This is a pale pink patch on your baby's face or neck, which may appear more red when she cries. Stork marks usually disappear within 6 months. Most birthmarks are harmless and will disappear on their own, though some can be a sign of a condition that needs treatment. Newborns are short-sighted. Newborn babies can only see clearly about 20 centimeters to 30 centimeters, 8 inches to 12 inches, in front of their faces. Everything else is a blur of light, shape and movement. Fortunately, this is the perfect distance for your baby to gaze into your eyes as you feed her. By the time your baby's 1 month or 2 months old, she'll be able to focus her eyes on a toy when you move it in front of her face. And by the end of the 4th trimester, she'll be able to see close-up colors and shapes much more clearly. Babies have more bones than adults. Your baby was born with about 300 bones. As she grows, many of these will get harder, and some will fuse together. For example, the skull starts as 3 pieces of bone joined by cartilage, so that it can fit through the birth canal. This is why your baby's head has soft spots. But these pieces eventually join to make one solid bone. Breastfeeding takes practice. Babies need to learn how to feed from the breast, just as you need to learn how to help them latch on. This can make the first few weeks of breastfeeding tricky and uncomfortable, but it does get easier with time. Babies have tiny tummies, and need to feed often at first. So if you're breastfeeding, you're likely to spend a lot of time with your baby at your breast in the early weeks. Babies' stomachs are surprisingly tiny. A newborn stomach is only the size of a hazelnut. This explains why very young babies need to feed so often. They just don't have room in their tiny tummies to drink all the milk they need at once. It also means that even the smallest of air bubbles takes up precious space. Your baby's stomach will grow quickly. However, she'll still need to feed at night until she's at least 6 months old. It's normal for newborns to lose weight. Some breastfeeding mums worry that if their newborn loses weight in the first few days, it means they're not getting enough breast milk. This isn't true. In the first few days after your baby's born, it's normal for her to lose between 5% and 10% of her body weight. Most babies get back to their birth weight by the time they're about 2 weeks old. Baby poo changes over time. Your baby's first poos are made up of a dark, sticky substance called meconium. After that, what you find in your baby's nappy will depend on whether you're breastfeeding or formula feeding. Try not to worry too much about how often your baby does a poo. It may be several times a day, it may be once every 3 days. The important thing is just to figure out what's normal for your baby, and look out for any changes. Nappies can hide other surprises, too. Babies are born with extra fluid in their bodies, which can cause their genitals to be a bit swollen for the first few days. Baby girls are also born with some of their mother's hormones, and this can sometimes result in a creamy white discharge, or even a mini period in the first few days. This is all perfectly normal in the early days with your baby. However, you should see your GP if your baby boy still has swollen genitals after a few days, or if your baby girl still has discharge after 6 weeks. Your baby loves your scent. Your baby could smell and taste before she was even born. She'll quickly grow to love your own natural scent, and it may help to soothe and calm her when she's upset. So try to avoid using strong-smelling toiletries in the early weeks with your newborn. Your baby actually has many more taste buds than you, spread across her whole mouth rather than just on her tongue. While you were pregnant, she got a tiny taste of everything you ate, and she'll continue to enjoy the same flavors as you in your breast milk. Babies learn much faster than adults. Even before she was born, your baby learned to recognize your voice, and perhaps even your partner's. Now that she's surrounded by so much stimulation, she's learning all the time. Her brain is forming connections at an incredible rate. Take advantage of this amazing capacity for learning by talking, reading and singing to your baby whenever you can. It doesn't matter what you say, as your baby will simply love the sound of your voice. I think you have learned a lot through this video. Hit the like button if you find the content useful. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Check out our other videos from the links in the description for more interesting mind-healing topics. Thank you for watching.